So we don't know who Tyson Fury's going to be fighting next, and Dylan White doesn't appear to have an opponent now. That Dominic Breazeale is going to be fighting Deontay Wilder. We know Anthony Joshua is going to be fighting Gerald Miller in June, and that these guys only really fight twice a year max anyway. So potential-wise, this year for the heavyweight division isn't looking so great right now. Of course, we know that we needed Fury Wilder 2 to come off first. That was the first part. That isn't going to be going ahead. They've spoken about it might happen later in the year. You see, it's not even it is going to be happening later in the year. It's just it might be happening at the end of the year. This is no good at all. And the most stupid thing about all of this is all these top guys, even somebody like White, who's not even a real proper world champion, considered part of that top 3, directly a level below. He still talks and gives off the airs, as they all do, like guys that they don't need each other. They'll just go off on their own route, with their own clothing brands, with their own talking bollocks, endless bollocks on Twitter, because they can, and that somehow qualifies as being the best. White, it looks like, has really shot himself in the foot for rejecting the offer against AJ. Yeah, he may have felt he was worth more, but was it 4 to 7 million he was being offered and he said no? We want fighters to get paid well, but if they're going to be greedy to the point it just derails everything, what are we supposed to do? Fury's next opponent, I don't know who it's going to be. Frank Warren said it's going to be somebody in the top 5. He's insistent. What top 5 he's talking about, that's really the key. If you look at the rankings of the WBA, the WBC, the IBF, they all have completely wacky ratings. None of it makes any sense. In football, you'd think you're looking at different leagues. It doesn't work like that in boxing. It's just all batshit crazy. None of it makes any sense. Suppose contenders are picked from like 15 right up to 2 or mandatory. It's all completely stupid. It's hard to think who Fury will fight next. Could possibly be White. Would White be up for that though? Has that just got unanimous decision loss written all over it? I think White against Wilder would be an interesting shootout. Fury against White, knowing how sloppy White is, not really. Those guys are kind of at a loose end, but Fury's content. He's got his big ESPN deal. He's doing what he likes. I really can't see one of the big fights happening later this year. I can't see Fury Joshua. There's talks of Wilder possibly joining DAZN. Then maybe Joshua Wilder later in the year, but I don't think so. I can't see these fights happening this year. We're going to just basically have more talking about fighting until the year's up. This is very probably what we're going to get. There's going to be a lot of posturing. There's going to be a lot of he said this, I said that. I know a lot of people like reporting this and talking about it on forums, but it's kind of killing the sport as well. Disproportionate news. Every day there's articles about Joshua and Fury and Wilder, and none of it means anything. A lot of it is just this could happen, this couldn't. It really doesn't mean anything. So yeah, this year isn't looking particularly great. I don't think any of the top 3 guys are going to face each other. It's not looking like that at the moment. They're all looking like they all think they're number 1. They're happy in their little corner, and they will continue to believe in whatever version they've got. But this stupid narrative that they're all sort of just like, I don't need to fight these guys. Yes, you do. You're in the division, and we've got to figure out who's number 1. You can't do it in football and go, I don't want to face these guys in the final or the World Cup final to decide who gets the trophy. I'm just going to go on Twitter and talk how I'm the best instead. No. We need to see some action. All is not lost yet. We may very well still see one of the top fights come off later in the year. But in terms of what I think will happen, I don't see it.